If you're waiting for your green card, renewing your work permit, or planning international travel, what I'm about to share could completely upend your plans. A wave of immigration changes just took effect this week, and they're impacting hundreds of thousands of people right now. Some of you watching this video might wake up tomorrow and find your application frozen, your work authorization shortened, or your travel plans completely derailed. This isn't speculation, this is happening right now, and you need to know exactly what's changed. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into these critical updates, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because immigration policies are changing almost daily right now, and you don't want to miss any updates that could affect your status. Today we're breaking down the most significant immigration changes of December, including the shocking reduction in work permit validity, expanded travel restrictions affecting over 30 countries, the complete freeze on asylum decisions, and critical green card processing changes that nobody saw coming. Let's start with what's affecting the most people right now, the dramatic change to employment authorization documents. As of December 5th, just days ago, the maximum validity period for work permits has been slashed from 5 years down to just 18 months. Think about what that means. If you were one of the thousands of people who benefited from those 5-year EAD cards, those days are over. This affects everyone with pending adjustment of status applications, asylum seekers, refugees, and multiple other categories. USCIS stated this change allows for more frequent vetting of individuals seeking work authorization in the United States, but the practical impact is massive. You'll now need to renew your work permit almost 3 times more frequently than before. Here's what makes this particularly challenging. The current fee for EAD renewal can run up to $605, and while green card applicants get a discounted rate, you're still looking at significantly more money spent over time. But the real problem isn't just the cost, it's the timing and processing delays. As of early November, over 900,000 EAD applications were pending with USCIS for more than 6 months. 20% of renewal applications were sitting there for over half a year. Now imagine you're working on an 18-month EAD and USCIS takes 7 or 8 months to process your renewal. You could face serious employment gaps, and your employer has to deal with constant re-verification requirements. This creates job instability and puts your entire livelihood at risk. The policy applies to applications that were pending or filed on or after December 5th. So even if you submitted your paperwork recently and it hasn't been processed yet, you're getting the shortened validity period. USCIS is allowing people to file for renewal up to 180 days before expiration, which means you should start your renewal process as early as possible. Don't wait until the last minute because processing delays are already substantial and they're likely to get worse. Now let's talk about the travel ban expansion that's sending shockwaves through immigrant communities. Back in June, the administration announced travel restrictions on 19 countries. But here's what most people don't realize. That list is about to explode. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem confirmed that the travel ban will expand to include more than 30 countries, potentially reaching 32 or more based on ongoing assessments. The current 19 countries include 12 with complete entry bans and 7 with partial restrictions. The 12 countries facing full travel bans are Afghanistan, Burma, which is also known as Myanmar, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. Citizens from these countries are completely barred from entering the United States if they were outside the country on June 9th and didn't have a valid visa on that date. The 7 countries under partial restrictions are Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. For these countries, tourist visas, student visas, and exchange visitor visas face severe limitations. But here's where it gets even more serious. Following a shooting incident involving a National Guard member in late November, the administration didn't just maintain these restrictions, they dramatically escalated enforcement. USCIS issued new guidance allowing officers to consider country-specific factors as significant negative elements when reviewing any immigration request from these 19 countries. They've also announced a comprehensive retroactive review of every green card and immigration benefit granted to nationals from these countries since January 20th, 2021. If you're a green card holder from any of these 19 nations, even if you've had your green card for years, your case could be under review right now. The administration also completely froze all immigration application processing for people from these 19 countries. That means if you're from one of these nations and you have a pending green card application, a citizenship application, an asylum case, or really any immigration benefit request, everything is paused indefinitely. Naturalization interviews and oath ceremonies are being canceled. Adjustment of status decisions are halted. This isn't just about new applications. This is affecting people who've been waiting in line for months or even years. The justification given by the administration focuses on national security concerns, inadequate vetting processes in these countries, high visa overstay rates, and governments that refuse to cooperate with deportation efforts. But the human impact is enormous. Families are being separated, students can't continue their education, workers are losing job opportunities, and people fleeing genuine persecution have nowhere to turn. Speaking of asylum, there's another bombshell development. As of late November, USCIS announced a complete pause on all asylum decisions. Not just for people from the 19 countries under the travel ban, but for everyone. Every asylum case in the United States is frozen until the agency says they can ensure maximum vetting and screening of every applicant. If you filed for asylum and you've been waiting for your interview or your decision, you're now in indefinite limbo. The administration also announced they're reviewing all asylum cases that were approved under the previous administration, which means even people who already received asylum protection could potentially have their status questioned. Now, let's talk about the December Visa Bulletin, because there is some positive news buried in all of this. The December Bulletin actually showed forward movement across multiple categories. Family-based categories saw Mexico's F1 category advance by 3 months and the Philippines' F4 category move forward by 4 months. Employment-based categories had strong EB2 movement, and the biggest gains came from EB5 investor visas, with China advancing 7 months and India advancing 5 months. This is encouraging for people waiting for their priority dates to become current. But remember, this only matters if your application isn't frozen due to the country-specific restrictions we just discussed. There are also other significant changes happening. As of October 30th, the automatic 540-day EAD extension for renewal applications has been eliminated. Previously, if you filed for renewal before your EAD expired, you automatically got an extension while USCIS processed your case. That safety net is gone now for applications filed after October 30th. Temporary protected status was terminated for 7 countries on October 3rd, including Afghanistan, Cameroon, Haiti, Honduras, Nepal, Nicaragua, and Syria. If you had TPS from any of these countries, you need alternative immigration status immediately, or you could face deportation. The H-1B visa program also saw dramatic changes with a new $100,000 proclamation fee that took effect in September for certain H-1B petitions. This applies when the beneficiary is outside the United States and doesn't have valid H-1B status. The fee has sparked legal challenges and massive controversy in the business community. There's also a new $1,000 fee for parole applications that went into effect in October, though there are some humanitarian exceptions. And starting December 26, new biometric collection requirements take effect for non-citizen applicants at all ports of entry. So what should you do if any of these changes affect you? First, check your status immediately. Log into your USCIS online account and verify where your applications stand. Second, if you have an EAD that's going to expire within the next 6 months, start your renewal process now. Don't wait because processing times are only getting longer. Third, gather all your documentation. Make sure you have copies of your passport, visa, green card, EAD approval notices, and any other immigration documents. Keep them organized and accessible. Fourth, if you're from one of the 19 countries under enhanced scrutiny, consider consulting with an immigration attorney immediately. The landscape is changing so fast that professional guidance could be critical to protecting your status. Fifth, if you're planning international travel, think very carefully before you leave the United States. Even if you have a valid visa or green card, you could face heightened scrutiny, delays, or even denial of re-entry depending on your country of origin. For employers, these changes mean you need to update your compliance procedures. You'll be doing I-9 re-verifications much more frequently due to shortened EAD validity periods. You need to plan for potential employment gaps when your workers are waiting for renewals. And you should communicate with affected employees early so they understand what documentation they'll need and when. The bigger picture here is that we're seeing the most substantial shift in immigration policy in recent history. The combination of shortened work permits, expanded travel bans, frozen asylum processing, retroactive reviews, and enhanced vetting requirements is creating a perfect storm for hundreds of thousands of immigrants. The administration argues these measures are necessary for national security and proper vetting. Critics say they're causing unnecessary hardship for people who've already undergone extensive screening, and that the policies amount to collective punishment of entire nationalities. What makes this particularly challenging is the speed and scope of these changes. Policies that would normally take months or years to implement are being rolled out in weeks. People are making life decisions, career moves, and family plans based on immigration rules that could change literally overnight. The uncertainty alone is creating enormous stress and anxiety in immigrant communities across the country. One thing is absolutely clear: if you're in the immigration system right now in any capacity, you cannot afford to be passive. You need to stay informed, you need to be proactive, and you need to have backup plans. Monitor your application status religiously. Set reminders for renewal deadlines well in advance. Keep multiple copies of all your documents. And most importantly, don't assume that just because you filed something or received approval in the past that you're safe from these new policies. The situation is fluid, and more changes are likely coming. The expansion of the travel ban to over 30 countries is reportedly imminent. Additional policy modifications affecting various visa categories are under consideration. And the administration has made it clear they intend to continue tightening immigration enforcement across the board. That's everything you need to know about this week's critical immigration updates. I know this is a lot of information and much of it is stressful, but knowledge is power. The more you understand about these changes, the better positioned you are to protect yourself and your family. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might be affected by these policies. Drop a comment below letting me know your situation and whether these changes are impacting you. And make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on because I'll be covering every major immigration development as it happens. We're all navigating this together, and I'm committed to keeping you informed every step of the way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.